Hey now, it's Sharon and I'm back to share another policing experience with you guys. If you're new to the channel, I'm a retired detective. I worked for 20 years for a southeastern city in the US, and I was also in the military. I'm sharing my experiences, the policing ones, and some military, along with my perspective in hopes of helping people just see policing a different way or idea, seeing it through my lens and the lenses that I used during my career. And hopefully this will help reform the police, if you will. I didn't say abolish. You can't abolish the police, but reform. And with that, last week I shared 2 different ideas on reforming the police. Traffic stops, why not do school visits, and roadblocks, why not do community visits and have a point system for that. I wanted to share today SOPs. The agency that I worked for, some of the SOPs were so vague. It was just left up to the interpretation of the individual. And the problem that I saw with the SOP being so vague, officers always got their jobs back. Meaning, if I could prove that what I did and someone else did, and they got a lesser punishment, I would get the lesser punishment. That's why you see people always getting their jobs back or receiving no punishment at all, because they can prove, well, look, this officer did this prior and this is all they got, because the SOP is so vague. So what I would suggest in reforming the police is to go through the SOPs and make sure accountability is the foundation of that SOP. And the way you do that, ask your officers. Survey your officers. Which SOPs do you think are vague? Which ones do you think need accountability, more accountability, if you will? I'll give you an example with my old agency. Transfers. We couldn't grieve them, but then when you did the open records request to get a look at the transfer and see who signed it, sometimes you'll see the initials of the city. And you're like, okay, who signed this? Because you want to go talk to them like, what happened? Why did you transfer me? And my issue was always, if I'm receiving outstanding and highly effective evaluations throughout the year, why am I moved? And usually they'll say something about staffing, because the SOP says you can't grieve a transfer because of staffing levels, and they might have to put you somewhere. And I understand that. But if I'm getting highly effective and great evaluation throughout the year, and then I whistleblow, and I get moved 7 times in a year, I can't grieve that? How do I prove that if I take it to court? Do you see what I'm saying? So things like that, if you ask the officers, I'm sure they will tell you which SOPs are for the birds, which SOPs need some tightening up, and which SOPs are good to go. Ask the officers, not the higher ups, not the white shirts or whatever shirts the rank, not the sergeants, the officers that actually go out on a beat every day, walk or drive. Ask those officers which SOPs need to be retooled, if you will, and you'll get the correct answer. And once you get that answer, sit down and actually go through the SOPs with your accreditation department and tighten them up. I'll share another way of reforming through SOPs next week, but I bet you if they did that, you'd see a lot. It'll be a different type of policing in terms of how we deal with each other within the rank and file. You know, people get angry about, why are they just standing around? There's so many variables when you see officers look the other way or don't interact with other officers when they're clearly messing up. I talk about some of that in other videos, but SOPs are a part of it. I just want to share that little bit with you guys. Take a look at our online store. The link is in the description. I created some notebooks. I also created some word search puzzles. Those links are in the description. And always remember, guys, always remember, you don't necessarily have to go through a thing to learn from it. Talk to you later. Bye.